Sexy Earl Podcast live. Thank you much for cueing me in. The message, one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, we're gonna rock and roll. We got a quick one to pull around today to get it going. So we're gonna get right into it. So thanks for joining. So I'm gonna start with the best thing I saw today, or not today, but best thing I saw this week. So one of my all-time favorite players, LeBron James, actually passed Wilt Chamberlain for the most two-point baskets ever made in history. So anytime you pass the great Wilt to Stilt, obviously you're in great company. What do you think about that?
Well, obviously he's in great company, and he's, you know, the argument, AC, you have it all the time. You have a bracket about it, you know, that people can go to on Venom Sports. Is that venomsports.com?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah,
you have a bracket of grace, and you have him as a number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument is it
right? And I have Wilt as a 2 seed actually. Yeah. So but then the worst thing I saw today or this week, the LeBron dust up at Atlanta with the courtside Karen.
Yeah.
I guess. So it's interesting. So Atlanta's 9 teams, one of 9 teams that allow fans. And I wonder how much those seats are going for.
Well, he's had the person who was married to the lady, he's had tickets for.
Yeah, he was a season ticket owner.
Yeah, she said that he's been a fan for 10 years plus, or been going to games for 10 years. She obviously wasn't going at that age, at 15 or whatever she is now. But well, it's an interesting thing. If that's the worst thing you saw, where do you fall on this?
Well, you know, apparently he did call her the B word. That we haven't got a lot of pushback on that, which is surprising to me because they really nitpick LeBron on a lot of things. And so pretty much the public and the NBA is siding with LeBron. And you know, and she was kicked out. They were all kicked out. 4 people were kicked out of that whole deal. So I'm surprised they kicked her out and her crew, her party. I'm surprised. But I think what the main thing about how she got kicked out is because she removed her mask. So she was yelling.
Okay.
And yelling obscenities at him, and then removed the mask. So I think that's what got her out of there. So.
Yeah. So I watched her video, which has been taken down. I read her transcript from the video. It's
hard to believe.
It really is that this 25-year-old woman is just like telling LeBron James, like, "Hey,
get out of here.
Yeah, you sit down." He's calling him a
You're
B.
a loser.
Yeah, F and B, and he's like, then she goes, and then she doubles down, and she was like, "Well, listen, he was yelling at my husband, and for those of you guys out there, if you aren't with females that will stand up for you, then you're in a wrong relationship." So she's giving relationship advice, and I was like, I think one of the favorite things I read is just like, Real Housewives.
What does she do? Is she like one of the Real Housewives?
No, but they were like, a Real Housewives of Atlanta, sign her up right now.
Oh, okay.
They were like, you need to sign her up right now for everything. So, yeah.
But and here's the caveat of it to me. Being a former NBA player and college player, like, you don't jaw at fans unless fans jaw at you. And even in that sense, we really don't go at fans. I mean, I've seen some jawing, but, you know, those are people who are like season ticket holders, or maybe they've had some interaction before, like the guy with the Washington Wizards. Like, that guy would sit courtside and behind the bench, and he would do stuff, or Spike Lee, something like that. The guy from the Lakers, who's that? The guy who's always courts, Jack.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson, right. So, yeah, those guys get some type of ribbing, but it's in fun and jest. So that was really shocking to me that it got so vehement. You know, that was really shocking to me. So, and then stay with my guy LeBron. He does not want to play in the All-Star game, and so. You know, I heard an interview with Ice Cube today saying that you really should not take those things lightly because, you know, it's all said and done. Your career is based on how many All-Star appearances that you
Okay.
And so I never really looked at it like that. But it's interesting, and the dynamic about that is Chris Paul is the head of the Players Association, as we know.
Yes.
Did a great job. Done a great job. Did a great job of keeping them in the bubble, pushed for the bubble. Apparently, he was pushing for the All-Star game. And LeBron and him are great friends, as we know. The Banana Boat crew,
yes,
as we know. So that's interesting that LeBron doesn't want to play in the All-Star game, which he's always for fans, right? He always wants to play and perform in fans. He loves the big stage. He's a historian, basketball historian. He will go down as the all-time great, as we talked about, and him not wanting to play an All-Star game. I think it's just it's kind of a travesty if they're going to hold it. I mean, I don't know how they're going to hold it. Apparently, it was going to be in Atlanta in some type of bubble setting, and then they're going to cancel some of the events that they've done. But logistically, I think this is truly hard to do, right?
Yep.
To have an All-Star game, because you have the rookie game, right? The rookie-sophomore game.
Okay.
You have the dunk contest, you have the three-point shooting contest, and then you have all the other festivities, which is around it, which is always about your rappers and singers and parties and all that. And so I think the infection rate and the chance of getting infected and infecting players, I think that's a huge risk. And I'm shocked that they're trying to hold it, to be honest with you.
Well, both the NBA and the NBA Players Association see the All-Star Game as a way to raise money for the COVID awareness and relief, but also recoup some of its financial losses. This is going to be played down in Atlanta.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of, originally Indianapolis was supposed to host the event. This is going to be down in Atlanta because the entire state of Indiana is hosting March Madness. So, but yes, you're right. LeBron said that he has zero energy and zero excitement about an All-Star Game. You mentioned, though, about LeBron's all about the fans and pushing the basketball, everything else. But my contradiction to that is, or contrarian idea to that is, then why isn't he in the dunk contest?
You're right.
Because they're still planning on having the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, like you said, the rookie skills challenge, all that stuff. But really, go back to AC, your senior year, probably right around there. What, Jordan and Dominique are going back and forth?
88, I believe, yeah.
And name me
the best dunk contest of all time.
Now name me, like, I think you and I. Well, you would do it because you're a basketball historian, but I think I could name 5 dunk champions since then, and that's 25 years, almost.
Yeah, I mean, you got Vince Carter.
Vince got one.
Tracy might have won one.
I remember Kenny Skywalker got one.
Yeah, Nate Robinson got one. Dwight Howard got one.
Didn't John Barry get 2?
Maybe Brent Barry.
Brent Barry,
yeah. Zach LaVine may have got one, I thought.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Blake Griffith got 1 or 2.
See, but it's just every time we're like, I get it, but it's not like it stands out.
Yeah,
there's got to be the one that's.
You're right.
And I also think that you can do so many within 30 seconds, kind of changes it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem with dunking, and not to go off tangent. There's so many of that have been done. Mm-hmm. So it's like when we see something, it's like we've seen it already. Now, Zach LaVine had an interesting dunk I've never seen or attempted. He has a 360 from the free throw line off of one leg.
Okay.
Which I think is humanly impossible because your knee has to torque. That's probably why he's had knee problems. But I've seen him. He had a YouTube video or something with him attempting that and doing it. Now that is bananas. But I thought the best dunk contest from the '88 one was the one last year with the guy from Orlando, Aaron something, and I think it was it him and Zach LaVine last year?
Aaron Gordon, isn't it?
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
I think it was Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. To me, that was the best dunk contest I've ever seen. Some of the dunks they were doing, I've never seen before. But I mean, that's the issue. I mean, how many times can you windmill? How many times can you throw it off the backboard? How many times can you 360 or the other way, or jump over somebody, or jump over a car?
Now, I understand things were different in the 80s, early 90s, because there's not so much like showcase, but when you were playing high school ball, traveling around, when you played for the University of Iowa basketball, and you went to some of these showcase things, did you ever get in these type of contests? Did they have these things outside?
Like when we did AAU circuit in Illinois, we in the spring after your high school season, we did that before we all went to college, and we would travel around to different cities in Wisconsin and Illinois and some in Iowa, and we'd always have a dunk contest like before the game or whatever, and that would be hilarious because it'd be all of us just joking around. So I think maybe I was in it one time because 7-footer guys, tall guys can't do anything exciting. So plus I didn't have a great vertical jump. So
just to recap, the best thing you saw this week was LeBron. They all had to be with LeBron. LeBron passing.
It was all LeBron.
LeBron passing Wilt.
Yeah.
And then the courtside Karen was the worst thing you saw all week, and the most interesting thing was LeBron saying that he doesn't want to do the All-Star weekend. All right, my man.
LeBron.
Yep. Well, he's dominating the best, the worst, and the most interesting thing you saw this week.
Yes.
All right, what are we going into next?
We're going to go into my pick. My Super Bowl pick.
Ooh.
I'm Tom Brady. You know me. I've been Tom Brady and Buccaneers all year long. Can't jump off the bandwagon now. The big money bets are coming in. People are betting $2 and $3 million. The furniture guy from
Mattress Mac.
Mattress Mac bet $3.4 million.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to bet two bets. I'm going to bet Tampa to cover.
Okay.
And I'm going to bet them outright.
Okay.
So after here, and I train kids, I'm going to mosey on over to the casino over there.
Yep.
And cash in my two tickets. I got my two winning tickets. I got to cash in from the NFC championship, the Bucks and the Packers. So I'm going to cash it in, and I'm going to lay a bet down, as they say.
Well, I hope you're still getting the hook there at 3.5 because that's going to be it's a big deal. But I'm actually with you on this.
Yeah.
Even though I
feel it.
Even though I predicted that I would flip flop 14 times, and I feel like I did. But I'm on the Buccaneers.
I feel it. If you can go to New Orleans and beat them in New Orleans, and then go to Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, this is easy cake. This is the easiest game to me.
Yes, it's not that easy, though.
Oh, of course it's not. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that position. Right. But it's easy. Easy peasy, as they say. Tom Brady just walk out of his condo, get in his SUV with his,
It's not that, yeah, so.
Mows on over to the game, stop and get a coffee.
Yeah, Duncan. Yeah, do his normal day.
Yeah.
So we were talking to, earlier today, we talked to Pat Anger, former NFL player, played at the University of Iowa, and we asked him about that because Kansas City's not flying until today.
Right.
And what that's like to... if you're at home or whether you're in a hotel. And he said, well, you have to understand those players are all staying at a hotel, the Tampa Bay team staying at a hotel the night before.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, but he said he actually preferred the hotel, even at home or away, just because it was time to relax.
Everybody does, because it's like that getaway. Even we were at Iowa, we the night before the hotel. Everybody loves it because it's just you get away, you get to sleep. Kind of, it's almost like you're putting yourself in a business-like setting, and I used to love it. So, but we'll see, man. I got Tom Brady all the way.
If you get interested in some other things, let me know. But there's prop bets all over the place.
No.
You don't get into that?
No, I don't care what color the Gatorade is.
I don't care you don't care about the length of the national anthem?
No. Winners and losers, Jeeps and Land Cruisers.
I will tell you this. There's a couple that I really like as far as player props. And that one is the over-under for Rob Gronkowski's receptions.
Oh, okay.
That's at 2.5. And then the over-under yards, receiving yards by Rob Gronkowski is 24.5. I like them both to go over, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, yeah.
One thing is I believe in familiarity, and I don't care if they're playing in front of just 22,000 or anything else. It's still the Super Bowl, and it kind of starts off slow, and Tom Brady's going to try to see what the defense is giving him, stick it with someone that he knows. Tom Brady is also someone who knows a lot about his teammates and where they stand in certain things.
and who he can trust.
Yes, and Rob Gronkowski is 5 receptions away from, if he gets 5 receptions in this game, he will be number 2 in the all-time Super Bowl reception list. No one's going to catch Jerry Rice, so 2 is just as good as 1 in this situation.
Yep.
And if he gets 40 yards receiving, he moves up to number 2.
And the teams mirror each other.
Yeah.
So the big tight end.
Yes.
Yes. So
if he gets up to 40 yards and he turns into number 2 receiving yards all time in Super Bowl. Again, not going to catch Jerry Rice.
Right.
So that's why I like those prop bets. The only other one is to look into, and I don't know exactly where it's at right now, and it might be 5.5. Sammy Watkins, receiver for Kansas City, just receptions.
Yeah, now he scares me
because he's finally healthy.
Yeah,
he hasn't played at all in the playoffs.
He scares me.
And they're going to be double, triple teaming Tyreek Hill.
Not enough scouting on him to know what they're going to run out of there.
Yeah.
You got Andy Reid with some.
But those are just
funky plays, probably.
Yeah, those are just the player props, and like you said, those other ones, they're gimmicky, they're fun, but you don't have much control over that by doing your research for the game. But do you do anything exciting for the big game?
No, man. Just veg out, get a Hy-Vee tray. Veg out. Get a Hy-Vee meat and cheese tray, some wings, and a couple beverages, and let's go.
So there it is. Bucks. AC says he's going to take the Bucks to win and the Bucks plus the 3.5.
Yes.
If he can still get the hook, which I believe he can.
Yeah.
So, what else you got for me, big guy?
Well, we're going to go into my bracket challenge. So on my website, venomsportstraining.com, I have, where you can sign up for your kids' camps and training, but I also have a bracket challenge of the 64 best NBA players that you can go to my website, fill it out, send it in, and I'll go over it live on my show as I'm doing today. I got my first one back from Adam at Nebraska's Hawk Nest. What's up, Adam? I saw you chiming in on my Facebook Live page. We're going to go over your bracket, and then I'll send you 2 pictures. I'm going to send 2 autographed pictures. So actually, Adam sent two brackets in, so I'm going to send him 4. So Adam's bracket's very interesting. He actually crossed people out.
What?
He crossed out Isaiah Thomas and put Steve Nash.
Did he have Steve Nash winning in the first round?
He had Steve Nash going to the Final Four.
He can't write in someone on your bracket. It's your bracket, AC. It's your bracket.
He actually did that twice. And then he took out Kevin Garnett and put Big O.
No.
Now I know. Now Big O should be on there, and some of my friends and family did not put Big O in. Yeah. But like I said, I did the first 4 seeds. Everybody else did the rest. So here's Adam's bracket. He's got LeBron beating John Havlicek, obviously. Steph Curry beating Robert Parrish. David Robinson beating Robert Horry. Jason Kidd beating Tim Hardaway. Karl Malone beating Kevin Johnson, D. Wade beating Bellotti, AI beating Jamal Wilkes, and Magic beating Chris Mullin.
And that's just your first round in one region. Okay.
Yep, that's just one region. He has Steph beating LeBron. Steph beating LeBron. Jason Kidd beating David Robinson. Karl Malone beating D. Wade. And Magic beating AI. So I think he's a nostalgic guy a little bit.
Except for when it comes to Steve Nash.
Right. And then he's got Steph beating Jason Kidd. He's got Magic beating Malone. And he's got Steph going to the Final Four. All right. His other good ones he's got Kareem going. He's got Shaq beating. He's got Dennis Rodman. He's got Moses Malone. Reggie Miller beating Bernard King, and he wrote in, like I said, Steve Nash, and then Patrick Ewing, and then Wilt. He has Wilt beating Ewing, Nash beating Reggie Miller, Rodman beating Moses Malone. He has Shaq beating Kareem. He has Shaq beating Rodman. He has Nash beating Wilt.
Come on.
He's got Shaq, and then he's got Shaq he's got Nash beating Shaq to go to the Final Four. And then so now he's got Steph and Nash. Now, here's the interesting one over here. He's got Kobe beating Mutombo, Dirk beating James Worthy, Dream beating Gary Payton. He wrote in Big O for Kevin Garnett, beating. No. He did have Big O. Yeah, he did have Big O. So he beat Big O, beating Kevin Garnett. Pistol Pete beating Tom Chambers. Iceman beating Barkley. Tim Duncan beating Rasheed Wallace. Jerry West beating Ginobili. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay. Fill me in.
He has Dirk beating Kobe.
No.
Right. Now, Kobe's one of the best one-on-one players of all time. People have said he's probably harder to guard than Jordan.
Yeah.
He has Dream beating Big O. I don't know about that one. He's got Pistol beating Iceman.
You know me, I'm so upset about the KG thing. So.
Right. He's got Pistol beating Iceman. I don't know Pistol beats Iceman.
No, I don't think so either.
He's got Tim Duncan beating Jerry West. I'm not so sure that happens either. He's got Dirk beating Dream. Then he's got Pistol beating Tim Duncan. Then he's got Dirk beating Pistol, and he has Dirk in the Final Four.
We've given this way too much. We've given this guy way too much credit for.
All right, the last region.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan over Bill Walton.
Fair.
Larry Bird over Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Pippen over Tony Parker. Mm-hmm. Tiny Archibald over Adrian Dantley. Stockton over Alonzo Mourning. I don't know about that. Dr. J over Clyde Drexler. That's probably fair. Dominique over Paul Pierce. I don't know. That's a toss-up. Bill Russell over George Mikan. So Jordan and Bird. Jordan takes that. Pippen and Tiny. He's got Pippen. Stockton and Dr. J. He's got Stockton. Dominique over Bill Russell. No. He has Russell over Dominique.
Okay.
Then he has Jordan over Pippen. We know that's good. He's got Stockton over Dr. J. He's got Russell, and then he's got Russell beating Stockton, and then Jordan beating Russell. So his Final Four is Jordan, Dirk, Steph,
and Steve
Nash.
So it's not very nostalgic.
No. So then he's got Jordan beating Steph, and he's got Dirk beating Nash.
And Jordan over Dirk.
And Jordan all the time.
Okay. Now, the fun thing about this, if you go to your website, give the website again.
VenomSportsTraining.com, yes.
And then you're going to be giving away an autographed copy of your
Everybody gets autographed pictures who mail it in. So mail it in. My office address is on there. So like I said, print out the bracket, mail them in, and we go from there.
Also want to mention that the show, not only is it on Facebook Live and it's being recorded, but we're also on the Locker Room Sports audio app and AC. That's, again, I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
We'll get
Email me or send me the link.
Yeah.
I got to download it for my Android.
Yeah,
the one you sent it to me was the iPhone.
It was the iPhone, yeah. So I will get it up and running. But yeah, because people on the Locker Room Sports audio app, it's my profile on there, but then they hear your voice, and my profile doesn't match your voice at all. Right. Because little do people know that I'm 5'7" and AC, how tall are you?
6'11".
6'11", and I'm 5'7". So it doesn't work out. But yeah, that's but it makes it for a lot of fun. All right, so again, for this weekend, quick before we start wrapping things up.
I want to talk about my book too.
Yeah, let's talk. Well, let's quickly.
Yeah.
Iowa basketball. Yes. Are we nervous?
I'm not, because January, February are the dog days of basketball. Like, players are tired, players are sick, they're in school, the weather is bad, the travel.
Okay.
It's cold.
Michigan State wasn't originally on their schedule. It got postponed.
Yeah,
so they had 2 days rest.
Yeah, it's throw it out. Like, March 1st is when, to me, the real season starts. So February, you're just plugging through. It's the same thing in AAU. It's the same thing in high school. Same thing in the NBA. You see some bad losses. It's January and February are the dog days of basketball. It's hard, and I tell people all the time, just get rest and just don't throw everything out. Doesn't mean anything.
Okay, and that's good because obviously the Twitter panic about Iowa basketball is
for sure.
So it's tons of fun.
For sure.
Right now, best NBA teams that you see?
Nets, Lakers, Utah is coming. I like Phoenix.
All right.
You know, I like Phoenix. I don't know what's wrong with Dallas.
Yeah,
you know, I like Philly too, man. Joel Embiid is on a rock and roll. 24 points in the second quarter yesterday, I think, something like that.
He's on an
MVP tear.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Some people are giving the credit to Charles Barkley for that. Because Barkley was on there saying like
Shaq.
he looks.
Him and Shaq.
Shaq did too. Yeah, they both were like he looks slow. Looks like he doesn't care about the game. Doesn't look like he puts any time and effort outside of the game time. And he said he really took that to heart.
I think he did. You know, athletes are professional athletes are very conscientious of what's being said about them, and especially the older players. So you know that whenever Shaq and Barkley or somebody says something, or Jordan or somebody, they really take it to heart. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're at that.
Yep. So
let's talk about your books.
Yeah, my latest book, Slavery of Sports, I just wrote that. It's just on Amazon. So it really details about sports and how athletes were being used and are being used in modern sports and past and college, high school, AAU, different sports as well. Probably one of my best work. It took me about 7 years to research, and so it's on Amazon. You can download it or order it, or you can order it on my website. You can FaceTime or message me, email me, Cash at me, and go from there. And I will mail you a copy, autographed copy. So check that out.
Okay, one more time. Give the website where you can go and download the bracket.
Sports Training. You can also order my books there as well. So Venom Sports Training, camps, clinics, brackets, books, full service. I just don't do snow removal.
That's it. All right, my man. I want to thank you so much for your time, and we'll get up and move a little bit. And thank everyone out there that's listening on the Locker Room Sports audio app. We'll be back next week, and we'll have a lot more to talk about as well. Probably trying to jump on. Hopefully next week we can start a little bit earlier, so we have more time to do like our redraft and everything else. So we'll get it scheduled going. So all right, you guys take care. AC, I'll get you out of here in just a minute. Hold tight with me, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.